Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zohar reading for World Peace. My name is Albert. I'll be guiding today's session. Before we jump into it, we do have a very interesting article prepared for today from the Zohar. But before we jump in, let's just take a few seconds and see who's with us. So from our YouTube channel, I see Frederick is writing hi from Kenya. Shalom from Boynton Beach, Florida. Maria's writing. There's a hi. Carl's writing greetings from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sean's writing love and peace from Melbourne, Australia. Sylvia is writing love and shalom from the Netherlands. VS is writing greetings from the Netherlands. Manzios is writing greetings from Brussels. And then there's someone from Ohio and from Mexico and North Carolina, so forth and so forth. Thank you all for joining us. And very important for the Zohar is the preparation, right? The only thing that we're able to get out of it is it's really the extent of our preparation, to the extent that we're prepared, that we aim our hearts at what we want to get out of this reading, to that extent it's able to work on us and through us to the whole world. So we're going to begin with a little clip from Rav Dr. Michael Laitman that will hopefully help us to open up our hearts to reading the Zohar together. So a little clip, and then we'll jump into it.
There will come a time when every person in the world will understand that we're all interconnected as some network, like it already is understood by people who are knowledgeable in that, who research that, those intelligent people who have an interest in understanding how the world works and so on. Some people are of those 10% altruists who kind of feel the connection of the world as well. But if everything is connected, it doesn't mean that much anything yet. Okay, if everything is connected, I need to be nice to others. Fine. But if, to the extent that I understand the connection in the world, I have to start operating the world, because otherwise nothing is working. The economic system, the financial system, the food system, the work system, nothing is working in the connection between people. So I have to start studying that. Where will I study that? It doesn't talk about it anywhere. Where's the university that teaches it? Where is this map that explains how everything is connected? This has to be discovered between us. How? We want things to be safe. We want everything in life to be there for us, for our children. We don't want hurricanes and other natural disasters and so on. So we have to know the right connection between us. How will we know it? So, it is said that in this special book called the Book of Zohar, it talks about the connection between you. If you long for that, read. So I start and switching the pages, another page and another page, and you start seeing that it's working, and people will see it, because when masses engage in something, it begins to be, they will still have to be somewhat connected to the sources. Somewhat. It's like, religious people today. They don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're just, they're reading all kinds of things, even if they don't understand exactly what it is. Because the whole Torah actually speaks about connection between people, but they study it differently.
All right. So we want to calibrate our hearts to the connection between us, and through this connection to really see this reading, that we will begin to feel how the world's interconnected, how really everything is interconnected, and we want all of these parts to be like a one healthy system, like cogwheels that are flowing, or like a body in which there's life flowing through it. So we want to picture this type of connection between us and already enter it and read the Zohar from that. And from that, we'll be able to project it outward more and more to include the whole world. So let us jump into it. Today's article is called The Second Commandment. This is from the introduction to the Book of Zohar. The introduction is like the summation of all of the light, the spiritual force that's within the Zohar. It's contained within the introduction. So all of these articles are very, very powerful, and we're gonna enter into it together from that connection. Let's go. The second commandment, 198. The second commandment is a commandment to which the commandment of fear clings, and which it never leaves. It is love, that one should love one's master with whole love. And what is whole love? It is great love, as it is written, walk before me and be whole. Whole means whole with love. When it is written, and God said, let there be light, it is whole love, which is called great love. And here it is a commandment for one to love one's master properly. This is so because there is conditional love, which comes because of the good that the Creator has given to him, by which his soul clings to him with heart and soul. And although he is completely adhered to the Creator, it is still considered incomplete love, as it is written, Noah walked with God. This means that Noah needed support to assist him because he was supported by all the good that the Creator had bestowed upon him. Abraham, however, did not need support, as it is written, walk before me and be whole. Walk before me means without support, but before me, even though you do not know if I will come after you to support you. This is whole love, great love, where although I'm not giving you anything, your love will still be whole, to adhere to me with all your heart and soul. 199. Rabbi Elazar said, my father, I heard the meaning of complete love. He replied, my son, tell Rabbi Pinchas, for he is at the same degree. Rabbi Elazar said, great love is whole love, for it is whole on both sides. And were it not complete on both sides, it would not be whole as it should be. Commentary. He told him to interpret the great love before Rabbi Pinchas because he already obtained the measure of great love as it should be, and he will thoroughly understand what he would say. Whole love is whole on both sides, whether in judgment or in mercy. And even if he takes your soul, your love in the Creator is in complete wholeness, as when he gives you all the bounty in the world. 200. The love for the Creator is interpreted on both sides. There is one who loves him because he has wealth, long life, sons around him, rule over his enemies. His ways are firm, and thus he loves him. And if it were to the contrary, and the Creator would reverse the fortune upon him with harsh judgment, he would hate him and not love him at all. For this reason, this love is not love that has a foundation. For because the root of his love is based on something, if that something is revoked, the love will be revoked. 201. Complete love is love on both sides, whether in judgment or in mercy and successful ways. He will love the Creator even if he takes his soul away from him. This love is complete, for it is on both sides, in mercy and in judgment. Hence, the light of the act of creation came out and was then concealed. When it became concealed, the harsh judgment came out, and the two sides, mercy and judgment, were included together, becoming whole. This is proper love, for the light that was created in the 6 days of creation in the verse, "Let there be light," was concealed again. As it is written in the Zohar, "Let there be light for this world, and let there be light for the next world." The light from this world was concealed and appears only for the righteous in the next world. Why was it concealed? It is because with the concealing of the light, harsh judgment came out in this world, by which the two sides, judgment and mercy, were integrated, becoming whole. This gave room for the inclusion of the two ends as one. This is so because now it became possible to disclose the wholeness of his love, even while he takes one's soul away from him. Thus, room was given to complement the love in a way that, had it not been hidden and the harsh judgment had not been revealed, this great love would have been devoid of the righteous, and it never would have been possible for it to become disclosed. 202. Rabbi Shimon took him and kissed him. Rabbi Pinchas came and kissed him and blessed him, and said, "It must be that the Creator has sent me here. This is the fine light that I was told was integrated in my house, and which afterwards will illuminate the entire world." Rabbi Lazar replied, "Certainly, this fear must not be forgotten in all the commandments, much less in the commandment of love. Fear should be attached to it. And how is it attached? Love is good on one side, when he gives him wealth and bounty, long life, sons and nourishments. And then fear should be evoked to fear, lest he will cause the sin and his fortune will turn on him. It's written about that. Happy is he who is always fearful, for fear is included in love. 203. And thus, one should evoke the fear on the other side of harsh judgment. For when one sees that he is under harsh judgment, he should evoke the fear, and fear is mastered properly, and not harden his heart. It's written about that. He who hardens his heart will fall into calamity, meaning that he will fall to the other side, which is called evil. It follows that fear clings to both sides, the side of good and love, and the side of harsh judgment, and she is included in them. If fear is included in the side of goodness and love, it is complete love as it should be, since fear is a commandment that contains all the commandments in the Torah, as it is the gate of the faith in the Creator. And according to the awakening of one's fear, the faith in the Creator's guidance is in him. Hence, the fear must not be forgotten in each and every commandment. It is especially so with the commandment of love, meaning that fear must be evoked along with it, since the fear is actually united in the commandment of love. For this reason, one must evoke the fear on both sides of the love, on love during mercy and success of one's ways, and on love during the harsh judgment. This is why he says that fear must adhere to love. And how does it adhere to it? He indicates, so we will not err in his words regarding what he said, that complete love is when one takes one's soul during the harsh judgment. And let us think that the meaning is that we should not be afraid of the harsh judgment whatsoever, but only cling to his love with devotion and without any fear. This is why he explains that the fear must adhere to love. And how does it adhere to it? Should fear also be evoked at the time as one evokes the complete love? Here he repeats the two sides of the love, whether in judgment or in mercy, and the success of his ways. He says that one must evoke the fear on both sides of love, that during the mercy and success of one's ways, fear of the Creator should be evoked, lest the sin will cause his love of the Creator to chill. By that, he includes fear in love. Also, on the other side of the love, during the harsh judgment, he should evoke fear of the Creator, and not harden his heart or stray his mind from the judgment. By that, he includes the fear in love as well. If he does so, he is always in complete love, as it should be. In regard to the integration of fear in love on the side of mercy, he brings the verse, "Happy is he who is always fearful." He explains the word always to mean that even when the Creator treats him favorably, he should fear him, lest he will cause the sin. And about the integration of the love on the side of judgment, he brings the verse, "He who hardens his heart will fall into calamity." It means that one should not harden one's heart at a time of judgment for any reason in the world, for then he'll fall into the Sikra Achra, who's called evil. Rather, at that time, one must evoke the fear even more, to fear him and to include the fear in his complete love of that time. Although both the first fear and the second fear are not for his own benefit, but only for fear that he will decline in bringing contentment to his Maker. Thus, the first two commandments have been clarified. The first commandment, fear, is the whole of Torah and commandments. It is Bereshit, and it is explained in the first verse in the beginning, Bereshit, God created the heaven and the earth. In other words, fear is the Reshit, is the first, and the heaven and the earth, which are Zon and their branches Bia, came out of it. The second verse means it's punishment, four deaths, Tohu, strangulation, Bohu, stoning, darkness, burning, and spirit, killing. The second commandment is love. It is explained in the verse, and God said, "Let there be light." There are two sides to it. The first side lives happily with wealth, long lives, children, and nourishments. The second side is with all your soul and with all your might. When He takes your soul and your possessions, the love will be as complete as when He gives you wealth and long life. All right, we're going to take a little pause just to reflect. Are we able to hold on to the intention? And we'll also watch a little clip from Rav Laitman to get us back into the spirit of the Zohar and why we're opening it to begin with.
While reading the Zohar, you are in a special relation, proximation with the upper force. The upper force, it's called the innermost force that dwells in the general desire, which is the generality of existence. And then you have the ability to bring yourself closer to Him, to use Him. The using Him is by placing yourself towards Him artificially, where you want Him to do this over you. Suppose a small girl dresses like a queen. She wants to be a queen, so she dresses as a queen. and then that force works on her and makes her into a queen. We understand this kind of depiction. Okay, so that's what we have to do. So, if next to this force, which you call Zohar, you want to be rich, in control, in power, to be proud over others, this will be for you the potion of death. If you want to put on good clothing of bestowal and so on, this is what you'll have. So that is it's like this wondrous force. And what you want. You get, of course, there are conditions about it, but all in all, both through all of these bad cases, bad things where a person asks not what's for, not things that are in his favor, then that upper force teaches that person through that and shows him the right path. That's called work through suffering. It's not a neutral force that whatever you want you can get. It is a positive force, meaning that it has a special form of bestowal. If you don't ask for that form, then you get the very opposite and learn from that. It's better search for the right kind of clothing, the right form. That's called the short and convenient path.
All right, so what do we want to get out of the Zohar? We want to be as close as possible to that quality of love and bestowal. And if not, if we're just completely thinking about other things, then it will guide us towards the more correct things that we should be aspiring towards. So let's in advance already start to aspire towards that connection of love and bestowal. How would that appear between us? How would the whole world appear in that quality of bestowal? And already start aspiring towards that in these next few minutes of the reading. To reveal this love, the light of the act of creation was concealed. And when it was concealed, the harsh judgment came out. Also, the love should be mingled with fear on both its sides. On the first side, one should fear that he will not cause the sin, and his love will be diminished. On the second side, one should fear the concealing, which is the judgment to which the Creator sentences him. And it is according to the literal meaning of the words of the Zohar. However, to continue the clarification with the rest of the commandments, we must clarify the matters more deeply in the high degrees of Atzilut. The Zohar refers to the four letters Havaya, Hu, Tum, as fear, love, Torah, and commandment. Yud, Chochma, is fear. The first Hey, Bina, is love. Vav is the Torah, and the bottom Hey is the commandment. It is written, in the beginning God created. This is the first among all the commandments, and this fear is called the fear of God. The beginning, Rashit, since Partzuf Arichanpin is the whole of the world of Atzilut, which shines to all the worlds through its clothes, which are called Abba ve'Ima, Ishsut, and Zon. It is called Chochma Stima'ah, blocked Chochma, since its Chochma was blocked in its Rosh, and it does not give any of it to the worlds. Rather, only Bina of Arichanpin shines to the worlds. Therefore, this Bina is called Rashit, as it is the beginning and the root of all the worlds. It is also called the fear of the Creator, fear of sublimity, since he is great and rules over everything, the essence and the root of all the worlds, and everything is regarded as nothing compared to him. And Zon, which are called heaven and earth, came out of it. This is the meaning of the verse Bereshit, in the beginning, meaning with fear. God created heaven and earth, which are zon. It is written, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it is written, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, since fear is called beginning, since the mochin are Chabad, although the chokhmah of the mochin is not the real chokhmah of Arichanpin, but only bina of Arichanpin. It is so because when bina of Arichanpin rises to Rosh of Arichanpin, she returns to being chokhmah there, giving chokhmah to the partzufim. It follows that the bina, which is fear, is the beginning of chokhmah, as it is written, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It is also the beginning of knowledge, because the knowledge is the root of zon, which elevate her to Rosh Chanpin to receive Chokhmah. Hence the zon too receive Chokhmah from her, as it is written, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The second commandment is a commandment to which the commandment of fear clings, and which never leaves it. It is love, that one loves one's master with complete love. Since Chokhmah is called love, because the Yud of Havaya is the essence of Bina, Gar in her upper Abba Ve'ima, pure air, and the light of Chokhmah is hidden in them. Also, the disclosure of light of Chokhmah from Zat of Bina, which are called Yirsut, is the first Hey of Havaya, which is why they're called love. This is the second commandment after fear, because this Chokhmah is not received from Chokhmah of Arichanpin herself, but from Bina, whose fear, the commandment of fear, clings to it and never departs from it, meaning that Bina is always united with Chokhmah and never parts from her. And in any place where there is Bina, Chokhmah is necessarily with her too, since Chokhmah and Bina are always attached to one another, and you'll never find Chokhmah without Bina, or Bina without Chokhmah. All right, dear friends, thank you for joining us for this Zohar reading for world peace. And we will see each other again next week. Until then, be well.